Hello, this is a prepaid collect call from
Charlie.
an incarcerated individual at the Leon County Jail. This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. To accept charges and consent to this recorded call, press 1. To refuse, thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hi, Charlie.
Hey, Dad. How are you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. You know, just the huge. Right.
Not much going on. Just the huge.
Just the huge. Just the huge. That's all. You know, gotta look at the huge.
If people ever complain about the stress of practicing dentistry, they got no idea.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
You know how many people you talk to and they're like, oh, it's so stressful, dentistry. It's like, no.
Yeah, you worry about the stress that if the procedure doesn't go right, automatically you get sued. You know, and you get sued for free because you have someone that says, oh, just...
Yeah, no, I was saying that it's, there's other things in life more stressful than dentistry.
Yeah. Yeah, I know exactly.
Dentistry ain't that stressful.
Oh, no, it's not. Yeah. So I spoke to Alex a little bit, and I had to talk to him, and he said, you know, that he said he was going to talk to you later today. You know,
yeah.
He said no, of course not.
Sorry, I just had to help there.
I was having the young lady that I'm with giving me an outline of, you know, the conversation I could have with you. No, she wasn't really. So anyway, that's a situation. Taking care of a lot of stuff, getting stuff, you know, just organized.
He's got friends in good places.
Yeah.
For example, Gary.
Yeah, Gary. Gary's been really good, and you know, they all are concerned about you, and you probably. Do you have Gary's number? If you want to call him and talk to him.
Yeah, originally I wanted him to be on my attorney-client number so I could call him as an attorney.
Yeah.
And then, if you don't mind, have Gary call up the jail and give him his cell number and have him listed as an attorney for me here. And that way, if I ever... Because he is my head and my lawyer before, I have consulted with him on stuff. So if I have stuff that I need to talk to him about, I can call him up and talk to him.
Right. No, that's perfect. I'll take care of that.
When we get off,
I'll take care of it even faster than that. I'll okay. Yeah. I'll get that for you.
Yeah. Because John Hader registered as a lawyer at the jail for me, because he's been my lawyer before on issues. So if I call John Hader, it says this is an attorney. This is a non-recorded call. This is an attorney. And even when I call Ramsey, it says the same thing. I called Ramsey yesterday after 13 minutes for a while.
You spoke to him for a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I sent him a text this morning. I was some other things I was dealing with, so I sent him a text. I don't know the responses.
He spent like 45 minutes an hour talking to me the other day.
Oh, nice. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, I sent it because I have his personal cell, so I sent it there. And
always give him a day. Always give him like 2 days to respond in case he's slammed. He has John called in the office with me.
1 second. You want to ask Charlie about?
Oh, yeah. Mom asked me anything about Hasselbach that you want me to take care of, or you just want me to take care of it?
Well, I mean, see if it said that they would settle for that amount, which is pretty much what I paid in legal fees.
Okay. All right, let me.
What I told us a while ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think
I'll
they
give him a call.
Yeah, I think they still owe me that 500. You know, but I wouldn't obviously get any more because of how the cases went.
All right. Let me,
Just want to know if it was okay with you and Dad call.
yeah. That's all I wanted to know. Yeah.
Yeah, I talked to him. That's crazy. That case was supposed to be the first week of December.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we have that all worked out. Yeah. He had called me about that too, and he had said, I said, yeah, it's okay. He said, he'll probably get an extension anyway. He said. So.
Yeah.
All right. So that's.
At least I'll probably get back what I paid in legal fees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I'll talk to them. I didn't want to do anything about that until I spoke to you.
Yeah, I just think that's probably I just don't see the point. There's nothing to do there anymore. The crazy, something crazy is that week I got arrested on Thursday. We were in negotiation, and it was going to be settled on Friday. We were already in a bracket. I don't know if I ever told you that, but we were already in a bracket working it out, and it was about a day or two from being done.
Yeah. Those are funny. Those are some of the quote coincidences, whether they are or not. This one, I don't know.
This wasn't a coincidence. It was literally like it was getting done. I mean, that was my conversation on Tuesday. It was that by Friday we have a real number, probably around 1.15, 1.8, and it was going to be either that or go to trial. That was a day or two late.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. It's like having the winning lottery numbers, but for the previous lottery, not the lottery that's running today.
You know what? So one step at a time. That's all.
Yeah, one step at a time.
Yeah. What did you say the winning previous lottery numbers were today?
No. What I was trying to, the idea, I guess your dad, he doesn't make it that clear, but Mom's lived with me so long, so she understands. She can almost finish the sentence. So when you were trying to clear that up, Mom was starting to clear it up how I meant it. I meant you get numbers today, but it was for the winning lottery of the last winning lottery, not the numbers that you're for this week's one. That's the kind of thing. Anyway, here's Mom.
Yeah, hold on a second. Dad's got some stuff he's got to finish up before his paperwork comes in. That's.
Yeah, that'd be good. Let Gary put his cell on for my.
Yeah, I think that's
that way
important.
For my contact list. But let him put it on as my attorney, because he's been my attorney before.
Right. We'll do that. No.
Yeah, I guess just settle it with Berkshire.
Yeah.
You want to know something crazy? I like to tell you lots of things so good. But when he on Cook, when I was telling him how much I was spending on paying my attorneys for my disability stuff and all that stuff, he was saying to me, he goes, "You're crazy. He goes, you need to be buying Bitcoin." He's like, "There's so many great investments out there." I go, "What's one stock I should buy?" He's like, "Tesla." He's like, "This is August, September of 2019. Tesla was like $270 a share." And he's like, "Yeah, instead of going after your disability people with all that money," he said, "you need to be buying Tesla. You need to be buying Bitcoin." He's like, "Screw this, because you can make so much money out there. There's so much opportunity." He's like, "I'm like, no, I paid all the money for my policy. I paid 20 years of premiums. Then I spent another $500,000 doing them." And I'm like, "No, they owe me the money. My back's fucked up." He's like, "Just forget it, man. Forget it. Just buy Tesla, buy Bitcoin." thinking like, you know, and I'm tired of following people's advice. And then you go, and I'm like, oh my God. Like and that's all he did. He's like, that's one. He's just like, too good investment.
Yeah. You know.
He's given me a lot of good advice this year that I follow. Things like Jesus, John Cook,
And then there's the other issue. Did you ask Charlie about what's going on with the no-net? The no-net loan.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't know.
Yeah. I have to find out what to do about that because how much does he still owe? $70,000.
Just going to come after me if I don't pay it.
Well, that's the point. That's the point. I mean, the over $800 a month is still coming out of here.
You were so smart. Charlie, you were so smart. I remember when you said to me, it's crazy not to take the loan out. It's 1.5%.
Yeah, no, the thing is, if you pay every single month, they knock another point off your percentage, or it's 27 years instead of 30-year payment. They not like if you don't miss a payment for 5 years, they drop it down another percentage point. So it went from 299 to 199. That was when you were building the office.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'll pay out the loans. You know, you get money after the office jumping. Fine. I'll back up my loans. So, I mean, I'll talk to Dan. I can talk to Dan about that if you want. I'll put finances down.
So, I just want to get it done right because I don't want whatever you have to be attached in any way. I don't want anything held up because of something like that. So I need to see whether or not we let it go at these amounts.
Yeah,
maybe just let it pay out that way.
1.25.
Maybe it makes more sense to just let that amount come out every month, rather than just take the balance and just pay it. Right?
No, I would pay $800 a month. Don't just pay $80,000 to them.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no. I thought you were talking about not. Yeah, let it just come out.
That's what
I mean, yeah, no, because let it just come out because the interest rate is 1.65%. Like, everything's going to appreciate more than 1% a year. You need a 4% bond. So you're better off if you're getting a 4% bond than looking to pay something off that was 1%. That's like no inflation.
You know what the money market is paying now, Charlie?
Regular money
market. Regular money market that I moved some stuff into, 5%.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, Mike was saying car loans are like 9%. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I would have thought, to be honest with you, when they put the home loans at 8%, car loans at 8-9%, the economy was going to crash. I guess people have saved up so much money that the people who have money are floating.
That's right. That's right.
They're happy.
I'm shocked actually at the car loans.
Yeah. I mean, the industry is it's just amazing that, like, the loans went up so much. There's 2 wars going on. There's Iran, there's Russia, there's China. There's more instability in the world.
Ukraine, Israel, Hamas, and all these wars all over the world.
We've got a nuclear submarine now offshore.
Yeah, offshore.
Yeah. In I guess it's
aimed for Iran.
Yeah.
Can I have some water, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot going on in the world. None of it is particularly good.
Yeah, you got Ukraine at war with Russia. You got Israel basically almost at war with the whole Middle East. You got China that wants to take over Taiwan.
Right.
And
we have a fleet of ships that is nowhere near what China has, and we're all over the place. So between Ukraine, between Israel, and between China, Got a big mess going on.
Yeah, and then you got Iran, who's now attacking U.S. soldiers with like drone attacks. That's right. I just heard on the news that we launched an attack in Syria on like Iranian-backed troops.
That's right.
I mean, we just bombed Syria. Like, I mean, we got so much going on. There's no way. If China ever wanted to take over Taiwan, now's the time to do it. And they know it too. Because how much can we deal with at one time?
Yeah. Not as much as we're taking on now.
No, it's becoming more and more. And Ukraine is slowing down and it's starting up.
Yeah.
But they're smart. They're smart at bombing Syria because it's kind of telling them, like, we're not afraid to jump in.
Yeah, no. They're not.
Sending a message that, like, okay, we're not afraid to use the military again.
Unfortunately, from what I've been reading and listening to, our military has not kept up with what we should have. It's a little behind the times and has not produced as much as we should have in years. So, we are a superpower in a lot of ways, but in some ways we're not. So,
yeah, I'm sure they've been ramping stuff up for the last year.
Where we get a lot of the supplies to make the weapons.
China.
There you go.
China. Yeah, but listen, we're also like the largest importer of Chinese goods. So if the United States stopped importing stuff from China, the economy would crash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you look at how much of the gross domestic product of China is exported to the U.S., I'm sure it's a decent number. It's enough that it would crash their economy and crash our economy.
Yeah.
And I think the people in charge on both sides of that can basically screw each other over.
Yeah. It would not be good. It's just a mess. I mean, every time I haven't looked at much news. I think actually last night was the first time we could.
You heard the debate.
The debate. It was
the debate was here at the Adrian Art Center.
The Republican.
All the roads were blocked.
That didn't matter to us. We weren't out there, but
all the roads were blocked.
Yeah. And
95, the traffic was at a standstill. The cross bridges were closed, and Trump was in Hialeah.
Well, he does his own thing.
All the other candidates were at the Adrian Art Center. Trump was at
doing a rally.
He was in Hialeah doing a rally.
He did a big rally, and I bet he got more press coverage.
Well, of course. Of course.
Yeah, no, he.
Hey, listen to. Have you seen this? Have you heard this guy Ramaswamy?
Yeah, that was a little bit.
I mean, we listen.
Ramaswamy is the one who said that Trump is the greatest.
Yeah, the greatest president of all time.
I heard him say.
Yeah, but he's crazy, and he talks over everybody. He's rude as can be, and they can't control him.
He went after the moderator yesterday. I've never seen that.
Never saw that.
He started to tell the moderator that.
But it was done by NBC.
Yeah.
So it was done by, I don't know, what's his name? Lester Holt?
Lester Holt.
And some others. And Lester Holt asked him just a question, the same question he asked all the other candidates. And he, instead of answering the questions as they all did, he just went after him, letting him know that you have no right to be the moderator. This should have been Tucker Carlson, should be somebody who knows Republican values. I mean, he's just asking basic questions. They weren't slanted or anything. But he's a hothead. He's a real rabble-rouser.
He went after Nikki Haley's daughter.
Oh, my God. You know, the one thing you know to do when you're doing this is you don't go after children. You want to go after other candidates. Go ahead. So they were talking about TikTok and China and the effect that that's having on a lot of people and all the, right now, especially because of what's going on in Israel, all the anti-Semitic stuff that's been disseminated on TikTok. And so he Nikki Haley's complaining about it. All of the candidates said it's horrible.
And so Ramaswamy says, your daughter uses TikTok, doesn't she? And Haley lost it, and she said to me, she says,
keep my daughter's name out of your mouth.
You are scum.
Yeah. I mean, don't go after the debate.
You are scum. And then, you know what, he showed up. I saw the end of the debate because he had his wife there, and they had another family member there. So he was doing that.
Yeah, the family.
And now he's
and then he goes after the child. In any case, it was the first actual TV that we've seen, and it was pretty shocking. But it was interesting that they held it down here, and that Trump, he does that all the time. He does his own little rallies wherever, but he doesn't show up on a debate stage.
Yeah, he's already won by not showing up. The only thing you're going to do is screw it up.
That's right. He shows up at a debate stage and doesn't properly answer. It's the problem. He's better off not.
He's not going to help. Listen, nobody's going to like him who didn't like him before. So he's better off just doing a rally and having people who like him show up. Yeah, I see his point. I think he's very smart. Yeah. No. It's funny. I remember once I was sitting with Grandma. They had talked about Donald Trump running for president. This was like in the early 90s. And Grandma said, she's like, I would vote for him. And she said, yeah. He said, you know, when you have a rich man as president, it doesn't really take to make money for himself. I think it is Donald Trump in 1990.
Such a good memory. I didn't remember that until you just phrased it. That is exactly how my mother would have said it. That it's good to have a rich man as president because then they don't have to do favors and things for other people. I mean, rather than
he's not looking to use the office to make money.
Yeah.
But look at Joe Biden. I mean, honestly, look at Biden. He's a perfect example. He literally has been a public servant his whole life. So he's never made more than $150,000, $200,000. Where are $5 million checks coming from?
I don't know.
Like, why was his son Hunter Biden was making $500,000 a month from charisma, from being on the board of directors of the Ukrainian energy company? You know, they asked him when he was on an interview. They go, "What do you know about energy?" Nothing. I got hired just meant that I was the vice president of the United States.
That's right.
I mean, he knows nothing about energy. They asked him, it was like on Good Morning America or something, I had on there. And they said, what do you know about energy? What's your background in energy? That you're an energy company. $500,000 a month. So I just remember Graham was saying that you want a rich man as president because you're not going to be looking to steal you can make money.
That's right.
But he's already got his money. His family's not going to be any richer because he's president.
That made me feel good to hear you say that, actually, that you remember what you said. Wow.
When people were saying that Trump was going to be president, I remember thinking, like, oh, shit, Grandma said we should vote for him. But keep in mind, this is like, not now.
What year could that have been?
Early 90s, 92.
Yeah.
That would have been 30 years ago.
He was things to talk about in New York, for sure.
He was in his late 40s and one of the most successful New York developer.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway. So that's,
all right.
Dan's working on a bunch of different things.
He is. Everybody is. Dan, I said, was about 3 to try because he wasn't 100% sure he'd be with his kid or the doctor or whatever. But he says, let him at least try me. He said, even if I can talk for a little bit. And then he says, if not, he knows to call me at night. That's fine. And then what was the other? And I think Alex said, what did he say before? After 1? After 1 today.
After 1.
If not, he said after you 10, after 10 tomorrow, I think he said. Okay.
Yeah. But, you know, I had said to Dan, I said, look, you could have done this case 100 times in Tallahassee. You never would have won. And his response to me was, not with that jury.
That's right. I know. That's what he told me.
But here's the thing. It's not just that jury. Because he didn't have one that gave a shit on the jury. And it's not just the jury. It's the state decided to do a summation of the case. It's turning it into everything but what was said in the courtroom. Took it, twisted everything that had nothing to do with me. You got nothing to do with me. When it got nothing to do with me.
Sure.
But they made it. And I said this to Dan a long time ago. To Dan, they're going to hate me out there. They're going to make me out to be somebody I'm not. They get sharp. They don't have to like you. None of these people are going to like you on this jury. You just have to know that you're innocent. But I said, Dan, if they hate me, but it's a difference if you hate me because you hate me. It's different from making it seem like these people hate Tallahassee. They look down on you in Tallahassee. And it becomes the rich white Jew who likes Nazis from Miami who did this. And you're horrible people. And you hate and you laugh at the people of Tallahassee. I mean, once these people from Tallahassee bend down laughing at them, they're just going to go with their common sense. And unfortunately, when you tell people to go with your common sense, and the ex-wife showing up at the team, and she's leaving 48 hours later, I think anybody with common sense should say there's something has to have been, she has to be a part of it. No, it's a coincidence. It's hard to explain away a couple crazy coincidences tied in with other things. And that's when it becomes like you just take someone's life for it. And that's not reasonable doubt.
No,
reasonable doubt means like,
we know what reasonable doubt is, and there was tons of it, and it was delineated for them, and it was explained to them. But Charlie, honest to God, it didn't matter. Just what they knew what they were going to do it for. They knew what they were going to do.
For Dan to say to me on Friday, I said, how's everything coming in? I mean, how's it looking? And his words to me were, if you had told me 2 weeks ago that we'd be where we are today in the case with how it's coming in, I would be ecstatic.
Yeah, because that's after you testified. It was amazing. Yeah.
Well, not just me, but what he was able to get out and admit to from other people in the case.
Right.
The other witnesses. Like, he was destroying them. So, like, he was destroying them after Logan had testified and then Dan proposed her. She turned, and I don't even know if it was her because I could tell you when I came in the court on Monday morning, Dan said to me that the proposals really don't do much because statistics have shown juries kind of have their mind made up advance of the closing because the closing is definitely in the state's favor because they get the first word and the last word.
Right.
So it's very, it's a bad burden of proof. But the burden of proof is not y'all. Use your common sense. Because what happens is the coincidence becomes common sense is that the chances of that happening and it happening the way she said are 1 in 10,000.
Right.
Once you do that and you go, look, I'm a postman, I drive routes, I know streets, you ain't showing up 17 minutes away on a street, on a time, unless there's something going on there. Yeah, there's something going on there, there's something going on here. And it's a very simple way of looking at it, but you only have to 1 in 10,000 chance to be wrong. It's comforting, you know what I mean? Like, what are the chances that it was happenstance? You know what I mean? Like,
it's true.
I mean, that would be like, put it this way, that would be like if on the night of the 18th, it said she wasn't in my house, but she was in the neighborhood looking at homes to buy randomly. She was checking out the neighborhood, and that's why her phone was there, because she was just in the neighborhood looking at homes to buy. I mean, could that happen? Yeah, but if someone said that to you, you'd be like, come on, it's 25 minutes away, looking at homes to buy on that night in that neighborhood, and her phone's being there.
Off topic, it just occurred to me, you had said about U.S. legal funding and Ben and Ramsey, and you said wait 2 to 3 weeks. But Dad was the other day speaking and now texting with Ramsey. So is that okay? Because they're doing something together, which I think is fine.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah. Well, if you want to make a note, I'll tell you what to get.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. What we need to get is copies of the fraudulent checks.
Hold on, wait.
Right.
Copies of?
Okay. The fraudulent checks that I was writing to people who don't really exist in your life.
Just a minute. I'm writing. Okay, got it.
So, like, okay, so let me give you an example, like the name Donald Mickens or Brianna Johnson. There are these names down.
Yeah, I am. I'm Brianna Johnson.
Yeah. Nicholas Milano.
Does he have this information or no?
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
So I'll just give you a couple of lists. Kyle Kozlowski.
Kyle was the first name. Kyle Kozlowski.
Yeah, very similar to an Asian stuff.
Yeah. You need copies of the front and backs of those checks.
All the checks. Here's the list. There's about 12 people. The 12 or 13 checks, the ballots, that were actually just made up names.
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
Okay.
The second thing that we need to get is there were 13 checks written by Berman. So keep that as item number 1.
Okay, got it. 1.
Item number 2 is there was 13 checks for $63,000 in change that was written from Berman Law Firm to Ryan Fitzpatrick. And he was doing that to settle the cases on which the company had liens.
Wait. Okay, got it. Number 2.
So the money going out was being written to people that don't exist in real life, and he was cashing the checks by somebody in the bank or wherever it was being cashed. We'll have to check. They'll have copies of it wherever it was cashed. That's number 1. Number 2, we're going to probably have to sue the Berman to be able to get the copies of the checks that they were, to get the copies of the checks that they were writing to Ryan. Ryan sent the Bermans an email that said all bank accounts have been closed. Please make all future checks out to Ryan Fitzpatrick, and I'll come by the office and pick it up.
And Ramsey has that email, right?
He has that email and everything. Unfortunately, when Ryan testified, you can't produce collateral stuff from another case. So, like, we couldn't show the checks that were written to Ryan from the Bermans that say, why are you cashing checks? Because it's a separate issue, it's rules of evidence. So even though he was doing that, we couldn't bring that in.
Got it. I didn't realize that. I wondered. Okay.
Yeah, no, there was so much that we had. You can't bring any of it in. It's a separate issue. You can't bring in separate unrelated issues. So But the money going out is institutional fraud. The money coming in is corporate embezzlement. So what happened was, it was probably about, if the case is paid out fully, it were probably worth over $500,000 what was owed the company. Except he was letting them pay pennies on the dollar and write the checks in. That would be like Erica working at Dad's office, and then when a patient owes $1,000, they write me a check for $30 to Erica Johnson. The theft is not $30. The theft is actually $1,000. That's what was doing. So even though he stole $63,000, it was actually $500,000 in theft. That's what was owed the company. You see how it works. So like if Dad had $1,000 crown and Erica told somebody, hey, write me a check for $30 to Erica Johnson, and I'll just tell Dr. Adelson, you died and you couldn't pay a bill. Maybe the $30 check to Erica, she didn't steal $30. She stole $1,000 because $1,000 what was owed to the company.
Right.
That's where that $500,000 number comes from.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay. So I have that the whole book. I've got it. It's terrible. Yeah.
So trust me, I want to have that too.
I know.
Oh, you got no idea. Trust me.
Yeah. Okay. A lot of things to follow through on.
So, yeah, he thinks he got away with that one.
I know he did. It shouldn't last yet. Not over.
I mean, that's something about that check were written to him. The Bermans didn't have to say it, but they were in on it, were right on stealing.
Yeah.
But it was the, like, when we were deciding our jury panel, like, we were trying to decide, like, there was one kid on there, he was a 24-year-old African-American kid.
Mm-hmm.
His dad was a sheriff's officer in Jacksonville. So it's like, like I said, we had 5 people at our panel who had law enforcement in their family. 3 that either they or their wife worked at Florida State. Like, this fat, disgusting white guy that was like, looked like an inbred, disgusting fat. He worked at the bookstore at Florida State. Do you think he ever written a book? He's eating about an author.
Let's not go down that track. That's okay.
Yeah.
I know.
No, but I'm saying, like, we were going to keep that kid. Our choices, it was literally between that kid and, like, the way it works is, like, you look at your strikes, you look at the people you have to get off, like, strike, and, like, we almost kept him. It was the choice between him and, I think maybe it was the guy who was an Army sergeant 20 years and then went to work for the post office. So he retired from the Army after 20 years as a sergeant, and then went to go work with the post office in Tallahassee. He made a retire from the post office too. But he looked like he was in his late 50s. So he may have had two government jobs and retired from the post office here in Tallahassee. He probably did the Army from when he was, 20 to 40, and then worked in the post office from 40 to 60. Yeah. Well, there was a choice between him and the 24-year-old African-American kid whose dad is a sheriff's officer in Jacksonville. How much does that kid have in common or can relate to me? Probably very little. He probably would have gone with whatever everybody else was saying. Is he going to be the one to pour over the evidence in discovery when everybody already made up their mind.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was, it was exactly what I thought it would be when I was living in South Florida. And I said, and it's funny, I mean, I hadn't even spent really time up there. It was just my gut from everything, the feeling they got from people that, like, this was going to be an absolute circus. It was going to be Tallahassee versus Miami. It would have been already vilified. And there's not, as I said before, there's not a chance in hell I'm about to get a fair trial here in Tallahassee. Not a chance in hell. And we did everything we could. You know, we brought in the best consultants. Well, I don't need the best consultants to tell me the 911 operator's hand shouldn't be on my jury. You know, I don't need the best consultant to tell me that the person who's listened to like all 6 parts of the podcast is probably not really going to be that fair. Like, these are people who are telling me they can be fair. Why are they saying that? They're lying to get on the jury. Like, blatantly lie. You know, but if they're blatantly lying, you can't prove it, they're going to be in the pool. If you want to get them off, you got to get one of your exes. Like, it was completely unwinnable. Completely unwinnable, because for Dan to have the case come in better than he would have expected.
Right.
And on Friday they say I'm ecstatic for where we're at. Like, I mean, I talked to him on Saturday. You know, he did very little work. He slept a lot. He caught up on his sleep. Right. He's like, look, I'm just recharging my batteries. He definitely worked for a while on Saturday, but it wasn't like he cranked it out on Saturday. He was like, listen, get some rest. He's like, I'm going to rest up today. He's like, I slept in. He's like, I needed to sleep after the exhausting trial so far. The schedule isn't keeping. He's like, I really didn't do a whole lot. And then Sunday, he's like, I'm going to be, you know, cranking it out. And like, he was like on a regimen that was like, you know, he's like, I may wake up at, go to sleep early and wake up at 3 in the morning and start working again. And he's like, I'll probably do that. So don't call me after 9. And he was like in his zone. He was locked in, and he's a closer. But nothing mattered. Nothing mattered. There was no way in hell that I was ever going to be able to pick the jury in this town. No way. 93 people came in and said something that made them not make it from the first round to the second round. 93 out of 150. Out of the other 60 that made it to the next round, how many were honest? That's the question. You know, there's ones that you know are completely not honest. I ended up using my exes on them. I really wasn't able to have a jury selection. It was more like just take the really, really bad apples out of the bunch. Most people would go in and they like select people that would be good for them. I couldn't select one person that was good for me. Yes, there were a bunch of people that weren't lying and they were honest and they were going to do a good job. They got everything. You know, if you hear me?
Oh yeah, I hear you fine.
No, I'm just saying, if you're only getting 2 good ones out of 10 that are coming through, that you're like, okay, this would be somebody that would give you, like, I don't know if they're going to give me a fair shake, but you get a good feeling and you think they're jurors, your peers, and they're not saying anything like positive for you. You're just saying, okay, I think this person would be fair. This is somebody who would actually give them a good shake. Those 2 out of 10 get taken off the board. So you're only left with shit. I mean, you were left with, you know, it was like the board game was like, I don't know what the expression, there was an expression of board game that was just like planted or tilted or like rigged. Like it was like playing a rigged board game. That's what it really was. Me coming up here was playing a rigged board game. It was like we finally got it. We finally got it. Like he got into the tape that proves my fucking innocence. Like I can answer why I said everything I said on that tape. Because I said I'm going to do some Nazi shit. I'm saying like I'm going to get someone to go crazy on him. Brendan, tell him to stop. Like I've had enough. Like I never said I was going to kill anybody. Never once. She misunderstood it when she kept saying, "You said you're going to kill somebody." I said, "No, the only way you could stop Garcia is if you kill her. Like that's how dangerous the Brazilian of a guy I know him to be. Like you have to kill him. Like I'm afraid of him." I'm going to kill somebody and then like I'm buying him birthday presents. Like that ain't the case. But kind of it's unbelievable. Like it's what's unbelievable is exactly what I thought it would be.
I know.
Like it was like playing a video board game. You know, the 2 out of 10 that were good was taken off the board. And then what we were left with, you sure as hell don't need a jury consultant. If you're only at this point, you're only getting 2 out of 10 good ones. And whatever good ones you get are then taken off the board. What's the consultant? I mean, you can only work with the ingredients you have to cook with.
Yeah.
And if you're getting 2 good apples out of the bunch, and the state gets to take those 2 good apples off the table, and you get 8 bad apples, you sit down at a board game with a bunch of bad apples. It's simple math. But how else can you can't say it any other way. Like that's exactly why the sheriff's officer said to me, "Man, we can't figure out why you're not sitting on the beach somewhere." I know if I were you, I would be. Yeah, because he knew exactly what they were going to do up there. Guilty and not guilty, like you don't stand a fucking chance in the answer. Like with that closing, they would have convicted Bubbles. You know,
They weren't. Stan and Kappelman were not fighting on an equal plane. They were not.
no, I mean, the jury's sitting there eating out of our hand. And listen, when she's able to take emails, when she's able to take text messages and highlight it and spoon feed it to them, like that has nothing to do with what happened. But I will say the fact that when he showed up driving down Prescott an hour later, y'all use common sense. Like, I hate to say it, but if someone said that to me and I was buying what she's selling, that looks really incriminating for circumstantial evidence. Like, you can't, and she was there. She was by chance, and there's a good explanation for it, but the explanation has to be attached to, well, that's 1 in a million, 1 in 10,000. So be it. You can't walk away from it. She was there, but she wasn't there because she was part of a murder.
Yeah.
But she was at the scene, showed up at the scene of the crime. That's kind of convenient.
So insane.
Is Dad there?
Yeah, Dad's right here at the end, actually. Well, we're speaking on our phone. Miles Hellman was just leaving a message, so I think Dad's going to use his phone and just call Miles back. It's not a call. I just can't do that right now.
Yeah.
You're calling Miles, honey? Yeah, I called Charlie. Give him a call back.
No,
I have some work.
I mean,
There's stuff that I'm just that has to get done because today, unfortunately, is the last day, as you know, before a legal holiday weekend, which is tomorrow. So some of these people that I have to talk to, they either will leave work early today or if they leave at normal time, I won't get them tomorrow. So I'm going to have to get off just to make some of these calls and must get these in. So I'm going to do that. And yeah, I don't have a choice. I've got to get these in. I know they won't be open tomorrow. And
No, do your job. I'll call you later in the afternoon.
Yeah,
I'll be fine.
Yeah, give me a call back later, sweetheart, okay?
Yeah, but I mean, you agree with what I'm saying to you, right?
Harvey, Dan agrees with it. The jury fool. It was like nothing he's ever seen. He's never had it where people just come into court and lie. They just lie, and they all have an agenda, and they don't really care. They hope that they don't, that they get through it. But, yeah.
I mean, if you saw how many people told the truth, what scared me more, this is what scared me, but I'll leave it off in 2 seconds. What scared me more is how many people were telling the truth to our face. Because you know what I thought? If 93 people come in and tell the truth to our face about how much saturation this has had, how many people are coming in and lying to us?
Yeah.
How many people, if we had 92 come in and tell us we had some kid that we thought was going to be pretty good. He came in, he was 20 years old, and he was like, if I really don't know anything about the case, like, I don't really watch the news, I don't pay attention to anything, I think everybody should be, get a fair shot, and, not everybody who they think is guilty. Like, he was saying a lot of good things, and, didn't know much about the case, but just his viewpoint on things is very positive and, pro-defendant, maybe, about giving somebody a fair shot. He was 18 or 20 years old, like kids, classes. Then he goes down after being questioned, and he's sitting with the jurors. And when the next jurors comes in, they realize that he was out there to say he couldn't himself.
Yeah.
So they put judges to work. Actually, he was actually just selected to come back the next day. He made it through the voir dire. He was going to come back the next day and be in the next group. So the judge put a special thing. He was going to be talking to him in private, or he was going to have another conversation with him and question him further about when we had multiple jurors come in and say they overheard the comment. So he basically came in, said the right things to us, totally lied, made it to the next round. We checked him off as being good. If it wasn't for the other 2 jurors coming in and telling us what he walked out there and said to other people, he couldn't have heard it. Easily. Very easily he could have been on my jury. He had an agenda. He had an opinion. He came in and lied. Like, he did. But how it is, the 93 that we got to be kicked off of our jury, that was just the beginning. Like, that we didn't, at the 150, the 93 that we got to be removed for cause, we didn't get everybody off for cause, we should have.
I don't.
No. These people were allowed to rehabilitate themselves in front of us, to come in and say, I have the opinion that he was guilty, but I can place that somewhere out of my brain that now I can judge him fairly. That makes 0 sense. You can't change. You can't take an opinion that you came into the courthouse with, remove it from your brain, and follow the rule of law. I guess that's what we're going to be working on, right?
Yeah. I mean, look, with there's only a few reasons that you're allowed to appeal. So there's minimal reasons, but when you try to seek a different venue for very obvious reasons, and they keep turning you down, that's a problem. So that's one reason that you can. So we're working on it.
Yeah. So hopefully it works.
That's not right now. Potentially, because right now there's too many other things they're working on. So.
Okay. Well, I'm sure they're working on stuff.
They are, and you know that, and we're trying to finish up a bunch here. So
I'll let you get more.
Yeah, I just want to be able to get these calls in before the end of the work and stay involved time. But please call me back later, okay?
Okay, I will.
We're here. I love it.
All right,
Bye.
The caller has hung up.